A seismic shockwave has hit Washington. The Supreme Court struck down President Trump's tariff plan, shaking Wall Street and global markets. Headlines declared the plan unconstitutional, upending economic strategy. This is more than a legal dispute. It's a defining moment for the nation's future. The American Prosperity First tariff plan was the cornerstone of President Trump's second-term economic strategy. Unveiled in early 2025, it aimed to impose a blanket 20% tariff on manufactured goods from key trading partners like China and the EU. The administration argued this would level the playing field for American workers and revive domestic manufacturing. By making imports more expensive, the plan hoped to boost demand for American-made products and create thousands of jobs. The White House framed the plan as a defense of economic sovereignty, not a tax on consumers. But economists warned the tariffs would raise prices and trigger retaliation, harming exporters and disrupting supply chains. Business groups lobbied fiercely against the plan, fearing global competitiveness would suffer. Despite opposition, Trump remained resolute, invoking national security as legal justification under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act. The administration claimed a weakened industrial base threatened national defense. This legal argument became the plan's foundation and its undoing in the Supreme Court. The controversy set the stage for a historic legal battle over the limits of presidential power in trade. The plan's collapse now leaves America's trade strategy at a crossroads. The Supreme Court's 6-3 decision was a stunning rebuke of the administration's legal strategy. Chief Justice Roberts' majority opinion focused on the president's use of Section 232, finding the administration overstepped its authority. The law, the court said, is not a blank check for broad economic policy, disconnected from real national security threats. The majority ruled that national security cannot be stretched to cover general economic competition. The link between a 20% tariff and national defense was deemed too weak. The Constitution grants Congress, not the President, the power to regulate foreign commerce. While some authority can be delegated, it cannot be handed over entirely. The decision reaffirms the separation of powers and sets a precedent for future trade actions. The court's message major economic shifts through tariffs require explicit congressional approval, not unilateral executive orders. This ruling marks a significant reassertion of judicial oversight over executive trade policy. President Trump's response was swift and furious. He called the decision a total disgrace and a betrayal of American workers, accusing the Supreme Court of siding with globalist corporations. On social media, he blasted the justices as out of touch with the realities of American industry. Trump insisted the tariff plan would have brought back millions of jobs and vowed, "We will not let this stand. We will find another way." He framed the ruling as a direct attack on his America First agenda and promised to explore every option to circumvent it. The president's rhetoric was designed to rally his base, painting himself as a lone fighter against a corrupt establishment. The intensity of his response underscores how central the tariff plan was to his vision for the country. For Trump, protectionist trade policy is not just economics. It's about national sovereignty and strength. The court's decision is both a policy and personal defeat, but the battle is far from over. The White House is already strategizing its next move, ensuring the debate over tariffs will remain front and center. The economic impact of the Supreme Court's decision was immediate. U.S. stock market futures surged, with the Dow opening over 500 points higher. Wall Street's clear sigh of relief. Automakers, retailers, and tech companies rallied, having feared the tariffs would cripple their global supply chains. The market's reaction reflected investor relief at avoiding a major trade war. The US dollar weakened slightly, signaling reduced risk of a global slowdown and potentially helping American exporters. Treasury yields ticked higher as investors shifted from bonds to stocks, showing renewed economic optimism. Dr. Elena Petrov, chief economist at the Peterson Institute, said the court's decision averted a self-inflicted economic crisis. She warned, however, that uncertainty about the administration's next steps could still weigh on business investment. Not all sectors celebrated. Domestic steel and aluminum producers saw their stocks fall, having counted on tariff protection. The ruling was a blow to their outlook, highlighting the dual nature of tariffs, helping some industries while hurting others. The market's overall positive response suggests investors believe the costs of the tariff plan outweighed its benefits. The immediate threat of a full-blown tariff war is off the table, but uncertainty lingers. The split reaction underscores the complexity of trade policy's winners and losers. For now, the economy breathes a sigh of relief. The Supreme Court's decision split Washington along party lines. Republican allies of Trump echoed his outrage, calling the ruling judicial activism and demanding Congress restore executive authority. Senator J.D. Vance argued the court had overstepped, making it harder for Trump to keep his promises to American workers. Democrats and some moderates praised the decision as a victory for the rule of law and economic stability. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called the tariff plan reckless and the ruling a necessary check on executive power. Governors weighed in too. Michigan's governor, representing the auto industry, expressed relief, while Pennsylvania's, from a steel-heavy state, voiced disappointment. These differing perspectives highlight the complex, often contradictory impacts of trade policy across regions. The political divide ensures the fight over trade is far from over. The Trump administration faces pressure to find alternative ways to implement its agenda. A legislative battle in Congress may be looming, with Democrats likely to resist any expansion of presidential trade powers. The stage is set for prolonged political gridlock and uncertainty over America's trade future. The debate over tariffs and trade will remain a central issue. Corporate America largely welcomed the Supreme Court's decision, though with caution. Major industry groups celebrated, calling the ruling a victory for consumers and businesses. CEOs of automakers and tech firms said the decision removed a cloud of uncertainty, allowing them to move forward with investment plans. However, industries facing foreign competition, like steel and textiles, were deeply disappointed, calling the ruling a blow to American workers. The mixed reaction created an atmosphere of cautious optimism. Most business leaders are relieved to have avoided the immediate shock of tariffs, but underlying trade tensions remain. Many worry about what the administration might do next, and some companies may delay long-term investments. The battle over U.S. trade policy is far from over. For now, business celebrates a reprieve, but uncertainty persists. The Supreme Court's decision resonated globally, bringing relief to America's trading partners. The EU welcomed the ruling, calling it a positive step for transatlantic trade and averting retaliatory tariffs. In Asia, Japan and China expressed hope for more stable trade relations, though China urged continued dialogue. Despite relief, global leaders remain wary, knowing the ruling doesn't change the administration's protectionist stance. A Canadian official summed it up, "We're happy, but no one thinks this is the end of the story." The threat of sudden tariffs has forced countries and companies to rethink supply chains and reduce U.S. dependence. The memory of the tariff plan will shape global trade patterns for years. The world is relieved, but also cautious about what Washington might do next. America's reliability as a trading partner is now in question. The immediate crisis is over, but uncertainty lingers worldwide. The Supreme Court's decision is a watershed moment, checking executive authority and averting a trade war. Free market advocates and international allies celebrated while Trump and his supporters condemned the ruling as a betrayal of American workers. Financial markets rallied and consumers avoided immediate price hikes. Yet, the decision deepens political and economic divides, pitting global supply chain industries against those seeking protection. The court has forced a national reckoning on how America navigates global commerce. Transformative trade policies now require congressional consensus, not unilateral executive action. The debate returns to the political arena, where it will play out in public view. The Trump administration vows to fight on, but its options are limited. America stands at a crossroads, facing a fundamental choice about its economic future. With executive power curtailed, the nation must now redefine its relationship with the global economy.